Well, maybe. Hey, there we are. Good to see everyone. And we're making it work. If I can get all these things to quit binging and banging and clicking on me today. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. That was from just here, about 3 miles from my house. There's a pair of eagles that have lived there for a couple of years. I have a huge nest, and I've been going down, and they're starting to get used to me. I think today I went down there to check them out, and they didn't fly away. They just sort of looked at me and gave me the evil eye. But at least maybe they'll get used to me, and I won't be bothering them. I don't really want to bug them, but they are pretty. Got a couple of guests here today, and let's just bring them on here and get some talking done. Here is Al. Hey, Al.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. It's starting to warm up a little, so I got my fingers crossed.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, it was 80 degrees here today.
Oh, send some of it my way, will you?
Yeah, I could send about 20 degrees and be real happy.
So would I.
Oh, we also have Don on here. And
hello.
Hey.
So, yeah, I don't know if Tony will be able to be with us because I know he's traveling. And Max sent me a note to say that he couldn't make it. But hopefully, we'll see. We'll have fun.
Yeah, I missed last week's.
Yeah. And then I was feeling bad because I didn't know if I included you on the email or not. So.
Oh no, that's okay. That's here nor there.
Well,
I know you'll be on every Monday. I just I don't know what was I can't even remember what was going on last Monday. I completely missed a bunch of things.
Well, I will not be on next Monday. Next Monday, actually, Don and I neither of us will be on because we'll be gone. All right.
We're gonna meet up. And
Nice.
have some type 2 fun.
Yeah. We're looking forward to getting out on the trail for a change. I felt cooped up in here. I did go for a walk this afternoon, but then I wanted to make sure I was back in time for the show.
Yeah.
So,
I had plans to walk this afternoon / evening, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do the live stream.
oh,
I'll go afterwards, and I got an elliptical machine, so I'll get on that for a little bit.
okay. So how's your training coming, Don?
I did 6 miles 2 days in a row with about 13 pounds on my back, so I'm still working up.
And how much is gonna be your backpack next week?
Probably. Well, it's usually around 25. If I like to get it below 25 for sure, but sometimes it doesn't. But so this is a dedicated, short hike. I should be able to manage my food a little better than normal.
Oh, okay.
That's usually what kills my weight. Carry way too much food most of the time.
Well, yeah, I do too. We hack our fears or pack our fears, and mine is water. You'll see me. I'll be ever stop filling up with water, getting water. So
yeah,
that's my big thing is in where I'm too. The water is full of tannins, so I usually like to carry as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like it's not no crystal clean brooks or streams. You dip it up and it's like yellow. Am I supposed to drink this?
Does it smell at all, Al, or is it just?
Sometimes it does, depending on the time of the year. Now, springtime is usually pretty good because there's a lot of melt and runoff, so as the tannins are watered way down. But in the midsummer and stuff like that, it's thick.
Oh, really?
You can smell it, you can taste it. It's thick.
Is it from the pines or is it something else?
No, it's from the bogs. Peat bogs.
Oh, okay.
They are everywhere here. Doesn't matter, even all throughout the forest. The forest floor covered with them.
Do you have to treat it, or do you just filter it? Or
A lot of times I'll filter it or boil it. My favorite thing in the world has been the little, like the Soyuz. I got a Deer Fanny filter and just squeezed it through it, and it takes out, I'd say it takes about 80% of the tannins out, and it says it filters out 99.99997% of viruses and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you can drink it right from the filter, which is what I was looking at when I bought the filter, because I said, if I'm going down, and now here's the real foolish thing about it is, when I was a kid, I never ever filtered none of that water down there. I just drank it right out of the rivers and everything, and I'm still alive, so
We did too.
you know.
I grew up that way. We had our house. We laugh about it, all my brothers now, because our house, we lived so far out in the country. There was a little creek, and it had we called it a cistern, but it really wasn't a cistern, but it's some kind of pump system that worked on, it would fill up with water, and then the pressure of the water would push down and push it back through the pipes to the house. And we remember Mom turning on the sink, and a crawfish, comes through the
You turn on your tap. You turn on your tap, and you're thinking something alive comes out. You say, "Oh, it's good water."
Yeah.
He didn't die.
It's fresh. Yeah, he didn't die. We didn't either.
That's your version of the canary, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, crawfish in the water pipe. No, but
Oh yeah.
there's houses down here probably still to this day that got pipes ran up to little rivers and that run into their house here, and just for extra safety's sake, I'd filter it, but I don't really think there's a need to, honestly. If you can put up with the taste of the different taste of the water,
Yeah.
because there is a different taste on it, for sure.
We had a well when we moved, and we built a house, and we lived on it was the tallest mountain in Northwest, it wasn't a mountain, it was the tallest hill, a little hump in Northwest Alabama. And we had a well drilled. I think my brothers can correct me. I think it went down 85 feet before it hit water. I think that's right. And then, and it was cold, and it was sweet, and it was delicious. I still remember that. And, we had a pumped it up into a sort of a reservoir, and then that had a pump that pumped it into the house. So, yep. Oh my.
Doris, are you having fun?
Well, she seems to be.
No, she's getting good and comfortable.
So, are you getting ready to go anywhere, Al? Are you?
I'm actually trying to get some work done out on the step. I've had plans in mind ever since I started going out on the step, and I've had some plans in my mind of what I would like it to turn into, and I'm finally getting to the final steps of what I want it to be. So I'm got out this week, and I got another little bit of work done on it. I'm hoping to get out again now in the next few days or so, and get out and get even more done.
Nice.
But it's time consuming, and it's money consuming.
Well, yeah,
Right?
it is expensive.
But if anybody watches my channel, anybody knows if I can do it cheaply, that's the way I'm gonna go. Right? I'm gonna look for the cheapest way possible to do things, because hey, why not?
Hey, absolutely, and it's prudent and good stewardship.
Yep. Well, I like to recycle a lot of old stuff, right? So if I find something like I made a stove out of a boiler, It's just an old bowler that's been kicking around out on my step, stainless steel bowler. Now, it's not a heavy bowler. It's only a thin stainless steel one, but hey, I flipped that sucker upside down, cut a door in it, and now I got a stove.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
so that's my goal with stuff like that. So I recently too, I gotta go and get it, but I found a piece of stainless steel that I can put down behind my stove now as for a heat shield against the wood.
Have you you watch Age's Adventure?
Possibly. I haven't really been watching a lot here lately.
He's from Nova Scotia, and he does a lot of really innovative stuff too, and then he does a lot of wood splitting. I think he every time I see his, and he's just a good guy.
As long as he's not splitting his shins like I did, and we're good.
He's got a splitter, so as long as he doesn't
That's the way to go.
Splitter, it would split more than that log. But yeah,
No, I swung the axe one day and it glanced off of the wood and got my shin. Yeah.
Ow.
Mm-hmm. It didn't. Honestly, the impact hurt more than the cut. If that makes any sense. Like the cut didn't hurt.
Yeah.
It was the impact of something hitting my shin that hurt.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And that's what hurt.
It outweighs the cut.
It was only a little. It was not an axe, not a full size axe. It was only a little hatchet. I think it was like a pound and a half head on it. But it was enough to chip the bone and enough to make me limp for a day or two.
Man. I was just thinking about things that we did as kids that it's a wonder we survived. So.
Oh, if I could go back and get to record, do videos of the stuff I did when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I'd either be thrown in jail, arrested, or given a medal.
And people love this stuff. I don't know why they. I mean, every time I show that little clip from Pennsylvania when I fell and kissed that rock, it takes off. People they like that thing.
See, I think what it is people like to see the reality. You know, I could make a video and cut out all of the really, really dumb things I've done.
Yeah.
And make it look really professional. Like I'm a professional and I knows what I'm doing. But I'm not a professional and I don't know what I'm doing. So it's better to leave that in so people can see the growth of where I started and what I am now, right? And that's the way I looks at doing my videos. And people like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's real.
Yeah. I mean, like I went up one time and I had we were doing I did the 5-item challenge type thing. I went out into the woods and I had my tarp, my sleeping bag, my axe, a ferro rod, and a pot. Now, what did I do? But I lit my fire and I had my pot of water laid in my fire and tip it over and put my fire out. Now, should I cut that out or leave it in? I left it in, but I had to put in a few beeps because I had a few choice words for the pot. So I had to make a few little beeps, and it was fun. It was funny, and you know, it's just the reality of the situation. You know, anything can happen.
Well, it's true. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
Don, you have any? Of course, you're Superman, man.
Who, me? No.
But your videos are so professional.
I think I try to be real. You know, a few times I was filming and the camera shakes because I about twist an ankle.
Yeah.
You know, or step off a rock the wrong way or drop something. I drop things a lot.
I fall a lot. Especially
go ahead.
Especially going downhill. That's where I fall. I never fall going up.
I wish. See, because of the geographic of where I'm to, when I'm going up a hill like this. Like it's like a 45. So filming is not always feasible when you're coming down. I wish that I could though, but I know if I do it, I'm gonna end up losing or breaking my cameras, all of them, because just about every time I'm coming down, I slips and falls at some point or another.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never get it on camera because I'm too well. Like I'm always saying, be safe. So I'm thinking safety first instead of a video.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But man, if you could see how many times I slips and falls coming back home.
You can make a video just falling.
I could have like a 2-hour long blooper reel. Just me falling down the hill.
I don't know what we're talking about being kids and stuff. We used to dare each other to jump off of stuff, and whether it was a cliff or like we climb up on my dad's barn and jump off, and it 15 feet at least. And we're 8, 9 years old, and we don't get hurt, but why were we doing that?
It was just the thing to do at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was none of, you think back, there was none of this to keep you occupied.
No.
You had to use this.
Well, true.
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole lot of that to use.
Well, this is the thing at that age. You said about jumping off of the barn. Up here, a big thing for us was in the winter time, jumping off the fish plant into the snow banks underneath.
Yeah.
Now, the fish plant is 2 stories high, at least. And well, it depends on how much snow. When I was a kid, it used to be a lot more snow than what it is now. Usually probably be about 6 to 8 feet of snow.
Okay.
But
hopefully it was powdered.
Sometimes, and this happened, we jumped in to the snow one time and a bunch of us jumped together. And I didn't hit, I was lucky enough that I missed. They had fish boxes, the great big fish totes.
Oh, yeah.
With the lids on them. And they were under the snow. So, of course, we jumped off. A few of us just hit the snow and we went down. And partway down, we heard thud. This was the guys beside us that jumped off and landed on the fish boxes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
They didn't get really hurt or anything like that, but it was kind of funny to be. You're going down through the snow and you can hear the snow going past you, and then but beside you hear this big thud. It was like, what was that? Yeah.
Goldie's saying that she jumped off the garage into the neighbor's vegetable garden.
Yeah.
Yes, all the kids were doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember once, I guess I was 6 years old. My brother, James Paul, who's 3 years older than me, we were visiting neighbors who had pigs. And we thought it was smart to climb over in the pig pen and chase the piglets till Mama came out. So she decided to chase us. And I'm trying to climb over the fence and I'm going too slow, and my brother pushes me. And when he did, the top strand of barbed wire caught my legs, and I went head over heels and landed on my arm, and my arm pops, and I didn't know, but it hurt really bad. And I was sick all afternoon, laying around, and finally Mom and Dad decided they're going to take me to the doctor. And we lived 25 miles from town. So they drove me in, and sure enough, it broke my arm.
Broke them. No.
And I hear it from a pig.
And you had a pig's pee on you?
Nope. But I felt like I probably peed on myself, actually, after laying there hurting.
Me and my friends used to show a lot of animals in the fairs, and then you'd stay overnight. We'd just sleep in between the cows to stay warm because it was pretty cold sometimes, and we're lucky they didn't roll over on us. That was the
Yeah.
warmest place to sleep.
Yeah, that could be a very, very, very heavy blanket.
Could go
No.
cow tipping.
No, I never went cow tipping. No, that's something
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
do.
either.
The worst I ever had happen. Now I do have a story about a cow, but the worst I had happen with regards of injury wise, coming home from a camping trip one time, I decided to take a shortcut to my house, and it cut through my grandfather's gardens that he had fenced off with just like wooden post fencing, so it
Yeah.
wasn't the most stable fence. So I had about 30 pounds on my back, maybe a little more, maybe a little, I don't remember exactly, but I got up on top of the fence and the fence started wobbling. So I was like, I'm either going to jump or I'm going to fall. On the other side of the fence was grass, probably up to my chest.
Ah,
But what I didn't know was somebody was after digging a hole, probably about this couple of feet and about a foot deep.
yeah.
So, of course, when I jumped, one of my feet went down in the hole, but the other one caught the edge of the hole.
Oh,
And just, I had a bruise on my shin right here from my toe hitting my
my.
shin. Right? It just snapped my foot all the way back. And of course, me being as stubborn as I am, I got home and two of the guys that were with me were like, your ankle's broken. I'm like, it's not broken. It's just sprained. It's not broken. So I waited till the next day. And then it was blew up like a balloon. And I was like, I got to go to the hospital.
Oh man.
But,
Was it broke or?
oh, it was broke. There was
Yeah.
There was the Achilles tendon was torn almost completely off.
Oh.
There was fragments of bone that they still don't know where they belong. They're still in my foot. The fragments of bone just splintered out. And I was in a cast for 16 weeks with that. And finally, I caught the cast off myself because I got tired of them telling me, no, you got to leave it on for another 2 weeks. So after 16 weeks, I cut it off and I just started walking. That was probably not the best thing in the world to do, but it doesn't really affect me.
Oh man. How old were you?
I was in my 20s when that happened.
Okay.
Oh, seems
Man.
like pain is worse as you get older too.
It is, yeah. Thinking back on it hurts more than what it hurt then, I think.
Man.
When I'm thinking about it, it makes my ankle hurt.
Oh yeah, it makes me hurt all over.
Mm.
I get sick of my stomach. I broke my arms 3 times. My right arm when I broke it with the pig, and then I just got it out of the cast and was playing. I loved baseball, so I'm playing baseball, and I slipped and I fell and I caught myself with that arm, and I heard it go pop.
Popped again.
The day the cast came off, the day it went back on, I broke it again. And then
sounds like one of my friends from school. He used to go on the skateboard all the time, and he came in one day and he had his arm broke in a cast. What happened? Fell off my skateboard. 2 days later, he come in. His other arm was in a cast. What happened? I got back on my skateboard. It's like, stay away from the skateboard.
Yeah, are you learning something here? There's a theme. There's a theme. I was playing baseball again, and my best friend was the pitcher. I was the catcher, and the batter, he hit a pop-up, and neither one of us called it, but we were both going after it. And I hit him in the wrist, and my mitt, it did sort of like your ankle. It hit my forearm. And then I broke 2 of his ribs. We were both out. And the coach was just screaming because, now he lost 2 of his players. And we were a small school. We didn't have a whole lot. And we sure didn't have a whole lot if I got to play. but I loved to play baseball. That was always fun.
We had you guys remember 3-wheelers, right? The motorcycle 3-wheelers that they don't make anymore because they're too dangerous.
Yeah.
We had a kid when I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. he had been riding one up a pond dam, like in an elevation, and for some reason it died and started rolling backwards. And by habit, he hit the back brake, and so it just flipped over on him, and the crossbar just pretty much crushed his face in. And he had reconstructive, surgery, and he had wires and everything holding his cheeks and like in his nose, and all that. And it's probably about a year later, I was driving my cousin's 3-wheeler out on a dirt road, and I had somebody on behind me, and the dirt road kind of berms off like this on the side. You know how they grade it? And I was going about as fast as I could go on that thing, and there was a rut in the road where the rain had washed it out. I didn't see it. And I hit that thing. We went flying. He went flying over in the, over by the fence. But when everything all settled, I was underneath the 3-wheeler with the crossbar right over my neck, upside down. It was upside down on me.
Oh, man.
And had it been a little, 4 or 5 inches, higher up, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
It's not only that. Those things you got to think. If you're in any way boggy or mossy stuff and that thing is on you, it's pressing you down into it. You're not going to be able to breathe or anything.
Yeah, it was just hard packed, dirt, a little bit of gravel. Thank goodness there wasn't a whole lot of gravel. I probably would have had a pretty good.
But they do make 3-wheelers still. They just put the 2 wheels in the front now, and they put them on the road and call them a new motorbike.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know how it's any safer if you're driving it backwards.
They take out the reverse gear.
That makes me think of an old Southern joke. There was an old Southern joke where the guy had his girlfriend on the back of his motorcycle, and she was cold, so he put her jacket on backwards, and then he's flying down the road and has a wreck, and sheriff comes by, and Billy Joe Jim Bob, he's out there looking things over, and sheriff deputy walks up and says, "What'd you see?" He said, "Well, Billy Bob was killed outright, but his girlfriend was okay till we turned her head around."
Oh no.
Kind of like that eagle you took a picture of.
Southern humor's not always good.
No. I'm good with all that stuff, but it's not always everybody's cup of tea for sure.
Oh my. Well.
My. I have tried to remember that one.
Oh goodness.
Anybody know why they does this? I know why they do it is to help prevent scratches, but they put this stuff all over.
What is that?
It's one of those little stoves.
Oh, yeah.
Puts the little puck in there.
Yeah. Okay.
But they got this blue,
that blue
plastic. I mean, like as soon as you light it on fire, it's gonna stink.
Yeah, but oh my, if you receive it and it's got a scratch on it.
Oh yeah, you're getting money back. You didn't have it scratched.
I don't understand that. I got it and it had a scratch. Well, yeah, but what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to throw it in a fire. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, though. I'm going to have to throw it in a fire before I uses it, just to make sure I get all that plastic.
Burn all that stuff off, yeah.
Because if not.
The only thing I don't like, and a buddy of mine, he gave me, a stick stove, and I may bring it, Don, just to play with, but it folds up flat. It's titanium. It weighs nothing. But, you use it. I've used it a couple of times, and then my pots are all sooty and smoky, and then they get stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it's not like using gas at all.
No.
But I absolutely love using the fire stick stoves, stuff like that. And I mean, like I got this thing, and I just bought the the little pucks for it. But what I know is once I gets out there and gets it lit, I'm going to start throwing wood in there for sure. Just because. What's a fire without wood?
Well, that's true. That's true. There's just so many places around here now that around here that's been dry so long that you really can't make a fire, but you can do your little cook stove. So.
Well, that's the other thing too, is in the springtime, a lot of times they have a burn ban on here.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you our springtime.
Which weekend is that?
Yeah. Well, it'll start raining one day. Then spring will come. It will rain probably for, I'm going to say 28 days out of the month. Okay. And this is when they put their burn ban on.
Yeah.
When it's raining.
When it's raining.
That long. Yeah.
No burning while it's raining.
Don't be burning wood. Don't go out and light your fire.
Well, Chris is saying it's 23:30. It's 11:30 there in England, where he's at. So I appreciate it because I will not be awake at 11:30 tonight. I'll guarantee you.
Goldie says she's in Romania. What time is it there, Goldie?
Whoa, buddy. Yeah, that's got to be.
Yeah, probably is tomorrow there.
Yeah, it's probably about 1:30.
a.m. Yep, it's tomorrow. Go get us some lottery numbers.
Yeah.
I could use those. I got a couple of friends that's in the future that I keep asking for the lottery numbers, and they never give them to me.
They'll give them to you?
No. I don't know if they're really good friends or not.
I was in India, and it was almost 24 hours difference, so I was always a day ahead there from home. Okay. Well, Goldie, good night. Thank you for joining us at that late time.
That's late. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we can't talk about Goldie. They're going to leave us playing on the TV.
Okay. Oh, bummer. We wouldn't do that.
Hey, Jan.
Yeah.
I just hit.
Oh, me.
What other childhood near-death experiences do you guys have?
Oh, gosh. Well, this wasn't really a near-death experience, but we were all out in the field, and it was a farmer's field, and it was a dairy farm is what it was, so they had probably about 300 cows, and we were up in the field. There was 5 or 6 of us up there, so the farmer goes down and lets out all the cows. So the next thing you know, there's a herd of cows coming towards us. So all the guys that I was with now, these are a domestic animal. So I grew up with my grandfather having cows and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I saw the cows coming, I never made nothing of it. But everybody that was with me got a fright and took off and ran outside of the fence. And they were like, he's going to die. And one of the cows got right behind me and started like bawling at me. So I turned around. I said, shut up and go away. Of course, they're all on the outside of the fence like, oh my God, he's going to die. And the cow let out another big bawl. And I stood up and I turned around and I said, what is your problem? Just like that. And the cow just looked at me and turned around and walked away. And, and they were all petrified. And I was like, guys, it's only a cow. And they're like, that thing weighs like 800 pounds. I was like,
it's a cow.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, bull,
Oh, if
especially
there was,
Brahma.
yeah.
I
If
don't
there
like
was a
Brahma
bull,
bull.
I
Yeah.
would have been out there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, it was just all dairy cows. There was no bull or nothing like that. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just funny.
When I was hiking the Cherokee Trail, because that was about 180 miles, but most of it was alongside pastures, and every pasture I would come to, it was exactly the same thing. All the cows were curious, so you come running up to the fence, but if you stopped, they would scare you away. And then you'd walk a little bit more, and here they would come. They'd scurry up to the fence again. Then you'd turn around and want to talk to them, and they'd take off. And from one end of that fence line to the other, that's the way they did every field. And then there was one field where the farmer had told me I could walk through, but he said, now, if you see something out here in the field, you may not want to do that. And sure enough, I got there, and his bison were out in the field. I said, no, I'm not going out there.
Oh, that could have been real fun.
For them.
Oh my. No, that's yeah, no, I wouldn't want to mess with those though.
No, they run like 35, 40 miles an hour, and they can do that for 30 miles.
Yep.
It's just crazy. But we have some here. We have a really, for this little town, we have a really nice park. And inside the park there's a zoo, and the zoo has monkeys and macaws and peacocks and a couple of emus and some wallabies, and just little things inside the. But if you go around back, there's bison. They've got about a dozen buffalo back there, and there's llama, which I think I'd rather be with the buffalo than the llama, and elk. They got several elk in there now, so it's really a neat little place.
Oh, there's the wife. Morning,
Okay.
That's Nicole. That's my wife.
Yeah.
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 One time that was really bad. I could have very well died. And this one was, we were younger, and we used to go up to one of the little gullies up skating. That was fine. Went up skating, and on the way home, we took a different way coming back, and it was after getting colder, so the top of the snow was after turning like sheet ice. So we're like, hey, let's slide. So we started sliding down. Lo and behold, the part we were sliding down from ended up being, at the end, was a big cliff going down into the ocean. So as we got down so far and couldn't stop, realized we couldn't stop, I had skates in my hand, and they were like the hockey skates, so they didn't have points or nothing on them.
Yeah.
So I just flicked those and started trying to pound it. Finally, I hit where there was a patch of trees, and I was able to break through and sink into the snow, but I was only about 10 feet away from the edge when I hit the patch of trees. I never did that again.
Oh. Well.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a scary time. That one was.
Yeah. That would get your attention.
Yep. We never went back down that way when we went up skating anymore. We skating back the way we went up.
It's amazing what we don't see and miss that could really be disastrous.
Well, especially when you're younger, you don't think about that.
No, you don't. You just go in.
You just go with it. I mean, like, there was a cave up on the mountain on the other side of the harbor that used to have the old hydro water going through it. We used to go up there all the time. Now they've got it walled up with cement, so you can't get in there. But I looked at the opening to the cave there today, actually, when I was on my way home, and there's a chunk, I would say about the size of a Pontiac Wave or an Aveo or something, that after falling off of the top right down onto the doorway. So
Wow.
this is why they cemented it up, because they don't want nobody to get hurt or worse while they're up there. But just looking at the size of the chunks of rock that are after falling off since I've been up there, it's like, holy crap! Why did I ever go up there?
Man.
Right?
Oh, man.
But at the time, it was fun.
Yeah. Don, what crazy things have you done?
I don't know about crazy. I just some more kids' stories being stupid, but I was growing up in that small town in Oklahoma, and me and probably 4 or 5 other guys were camping by this pond, and this pond, like pretty much everybody in town would go swim at. It had a big tree in the middle of it, big rope swing, and I'd been swimming in that pond 4 or 5 times at that point, and we were camping out by this pond, and we'd been fishing, had a couple of stringers of crappie, one over here, one about 50 yards over there, and we had a fire going, and we kept hearing these stringers jingling and jangling, and it was like, oh, it's just the fish, flopping around. Both of those stringers had a water moccasin on it that had swallowed the fish, couldn't get back off.
Oh, man.
And we discovered that when a couple of guys were getting ready to go swimming about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's 2 guys standing about knee deep in the water. We pull up this stringer with this snake on it.
Man.
One guy just beats it to the tree, and he must have sat in that tree for 2 hours in the middle of the night waiting. He just trying to get up the nerve to swim back to the shoreline.
Oh, yeah.
I never swam in that pond again after that.
No.
Water moccasins I don't like water moccasins. Copperheads don't bother me. I really don't like rattlesnakes, but cottonmouths are just mean.
Yeah.
They're territorial and they're mean and they're strong. They're big, bulky things.
Yeah. So. Definitely. I've never liked snakes.
I don't mind snakes. We don't have snakes up here, so I'm more fascinated with them, because there's no native snakes here in Newfoundland.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now there's up on the mainland. There's like garter snakes and stuff. You might find a scattered bigger snake, but most of them are garter snakes and that. So for me to go down and like find a rattlesnake or something, yes, I'm going to respect it. I'm going to stay away from it, but I am going to sit there and watch it until it goes away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bolt the other way or anything like that. Same thing with like creepy crawly spiders, scorpions, centipedes, millipedes, all these things. They don't bother me. Some of them I don't want on me.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, but if I'm walking along and I see something on my arm crawling or whatever, I don't, like, you see people, whoa, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? Can I get a picture?
Well, no, at least 3 times on the PCT, and last time I tried it, I only saw one baby rattlesnake in 300 miles, but at least 3 times somebody would come up behind me. We'd been taking a break, and somebody would come up and was like, "Oh man, did you see that big rattlesnake?" I'm like, "No." And then they'd show me this video of this huge, thick rattlesnake right by the trail that I just went by, a few minutes before. Probably there, and I just didn't.
That was a snake.
Yep. Oh man. I hate that. That's what, it's after the fact when I see it and I think I didn't see it. That bothers me. That's
the ones that it kind of bother you, is like I actually had my foot right next to that. I didn't see it. Yeah. That's the ones that you're kind of saying, holy cow, because these animals, they've evolved to blend into stuff so that they don't get spotted easily, but when you're putting your foot next to a snake that's probably this thick, and you
Yeah.
don't know he's there, that can be a bit unnerving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Stoned Ape says they just have copperheads and timber rattlers. Well, really copperheads don't bother me so much because they will strike about half the distance of their body, so you can sort of gauge. A rattlesnake will launch at you.
Yeah, they'll fling their entire body towards you.
They're strong,
Yeah.
and then the copperheads, a lot of times they'll dry bite. An adult copperhead will just do a dry bite. They won't put venom in you because you're too big for them to eat, and so they're going to save their venom. A baby, they don't know any better, so they're going to juice you up.
Yeah, I heard that about rattlesnakes too. I didn't know if it was true or not that baby rattlesnakes are actually more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they just release all their venom in you, not knowing any better.
Yeah.
Look, can I just throw this in here for me? Just to think about for a second what we were talking about with our own stories being young and stupid and how we used to do things. It's no different for the animal kingdom. They're young and stupid. They're gonna.
Yep. It's true. It's true. The experience is a force multiplier.
Well, it's the same principle as scorpions. The smaller they are, the more deadly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get the big emperor scorpions. They're only like a bee sting.
Huh.
If that stings you, they're actually not that bad. I used to have one of them as a pet.
Oh, really?
Hiking with Jackie Boy's mentioning a blue indigo snake that preys on rattlesnakes. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those.
I don't either.
Where are those at?
Yeah, he wants to get a few and let them go around his house.
Not go there.
That's down in Texas. So, yeah, I didn't know about that. And if they prey on, I see somebody else who was liking, they had black snakes at Stone Day. No, that was Stone Day. Who had black snakes? I like black snakes.
I wonder, is it still in my news?
I have to look that up.
Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? I'm looking up. Oh, Simply Jane. Yeah. Has black snakes. And
No, it's not.
they're nice. We used to call them black racers because when I was a kid, we'd have more kid stories. We were in the country, so we didn't have a whole lot of entertainment. So if we found a black snake, if you chased the snake, he would run from you. But if you turned around and ran from it, he would chase you. So we'd sit there and play chase with these snakes back and forth.
Was a tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Use it as a bullwhip.
Yeah, that was my dad. My dad would take rattlesnakes and he would grab them by the tail and whip them like a bullwhip and snap their head off.
Wow. Did it actually come off?
Oh yeah. But not me. Dad did all kinds of stuff.
That will be quite a dangerous thing to be doing.
Oh, Dad was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great guy. He was.
Maybe this is where the rhyme comes from. 2, 4, 6, 8. Daddy caught a rattlesnake.
That could be it.
Snaky died, mommy cried.
He would give people the shirt off his back, literally. I mean, he was just a very good, kind, humble guy, but he was ornery, and he loved to play tricks on us. So he would take and spark plug wire on the back of the lawnmower. He would take the spark plug wire off, and then he'd be out in the backyard cranking the lawnmower, and until one of us, 6 boys, so it's sort of like Darwin's it was the survival of the fittest. The dumbest one of us that day would go out and ask Dad, "What are you doing?" He said, "I don't know. This mower won't start." He said, "Here, hold this," and he'd put the wire back on the spark plug, and then we would grab that wire, and then he would crank it, and he would start. it would just knock you down. And he would laugh. He thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, as boys, we used to dare each other to pee on the electric fences too.
Yep, that's yep.
I only did that once.
I
never fell for that.
No, we did a bad thing with electrical wire down on the wharf one year. There was an electrical wire hanging out of one of the sheds. Now it was a white one, so it was the hot wire. So we took it, and when you grabbed onto it, it'll give you the jolt, right? Now it wasn't super bad or nothing, but we got it in our mind. We're gonna take a couple of the metal trays and lay them on the ground, and we put the wire underneath it, and then we started filling it up with water. And of course, now it couldn't have happened to a nicer fella, I tell you, because this guy always gave us a hard time when we were growing up, always. So along he comes and starts yelling and screaming at us because he thought we were dumping oil on the walkway.
Oh.
So we left and we got around the corner, and then we hear us, ah!
Oh no!
He ran to pick the pan up and he got the wire.
Oh man! Oh goodness!
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy because he never bothered us for a while after that.
Goodness.
But it was funny. We were thinking somebody's going to come along and walk on it, right? We didn't expect him to come along and pick it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny stuff. But we could have gotten a lot of trouble for that.
Oh yeah.
What do you think back? I mean, like, I'm thinking back to the times when I was growing up. Even I'm probably the youngest one here in this little group. Anyway, it's me. I'm the youngest one. I'm the baby. Gotta love me. But I mean, like, when we were young, you could go out and do stupid stuff like that, and you learn from it. Now, if you went out and done something like that, they'd freaking toss you in jail, or they'd toss you in a mental institution, or people are gone to the point where you can't really go out and do anything anymore.
No, you can, and you can't learn.
Yeah, you don't learn from the mistakes. I mean, like, one of the biggest things I learned from a mistake was don't sleep under the stairs in Newfoundland.
Oh?
Yeah, me and my friend did that one night on a 24th weekend. It was May, so it was still pretty chilly. And we never had a tent or nothing, but we had a sleeping bag and a blanket, and we said, we're going to sleep under the stairs. So we made a little fire pit, and of course, being young and dumb, we had a pile of wood about this high, and we said, that'll do us.
Did you get chilly?
Chilly, yes. I'd say about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 of us were up wandering around in the woods trying to find wood to put in the fire.
Yeah.
Because we were froze.
Oh, I bet. Oh.
Caught my sleeping bag on fire. That wasn't fun.
That'll warm you up.
Yeah. We were looking for wood, and my friend looked over and he says, why is there 2 fires? And I said, 2. And I looked over, oh crap, I started running. So my sleeping bag is on fire. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh my.
No.
That's funny.
But no, I always since then it's always been under a tarp.
I gotta go. My dogs got out. My neighbor just texted me and said my dogs got into his backyard somehow. So I gotta go.
Okay.
Dan, we'll talk a little bit before. Nice talking to everybody.
Good to see you, Don. Looking forward to probably Sunday night. I'll be there, and if you want to, we could hike a mile in and do that. So do what you want to do. All right.
Bye.
See ya.
See you, Don.
Bye.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've in the Army, I was going to ask Don what they call it in the Navy, but in the Army, we call it trying to GI proof everything, because we would try to fix it so that, the troops couldn't tear it up. Well, it never works. They will find a way. I used to say, they could break a crowbar, because they're going to find a way of tearing it up. But there's also a learning experience in that.
Yeah.
Of messing it up. So,
well, I mean, like, I built shelters when I was young, but there was a lot of years in between then and now that I haven't done anything in the woods. So really, me starting my YouTube and going back into the woods, it was almost like starting over.
Yeah.
So there's this big learning curve on my first shelter that I built when I was down there. I had little thin sticks, and it was like, oh yeah, this is good, this is fine. And I come up and it'd be all knocked down. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
All right. But it's all a learning curve to, if it gets destroyed, what failed? Where's the part that made this structure fail? And you can work on it and fix it and make it better. And like, it ended up, one of the last shelters I built there, well, it was a few years ago now, but I made a 3-sided shelter with the back, and the 2 sides were angled in at each other, and the front was open. But I had a roof on it, I had a fire pit inside, I had 3 beds, room for a hammock, woods, a small table in that built in it. And it lasted and lasted and lasted. And I haven't been down there in a while, so I don't know what kind of shape it's in now, but I was still in the learning curve at that stage. And I never, when I put my tarps on, I didn't put anything over the tarps to hold them. So
okay, so
they're flapping and tearing holes and stuff like that.
Sure.
Whereas one of the last ones I built at my closer camp now, when I got my tarp on, the first thing I did, start collecting moss. And I never left until I had moss over 90% of it. So it couldn't blow around, right?
Yeah.
And the moss holds it in place and keeps it watertight.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. But it's just, like I said, it's just all, it's what's going to work for you and the learning curve that it takes to get there.
Yeah. And to have the opportunity to go out and to learn is invaluable. So, and it's interesting. You talk about, you started YouTube and it's sort of taking you back to your roots. It's the same way with me. I started when I was growing up, Dad would, every Saturday, Dad would sort of gather all the boys and we would go for walks in the woods, and we would go and walk for all day long. I don't know how far we went, but there was Dad, and then 6 boys would be trailing behind, and those things sort of ingrained. And then after I finished my Army career, just that call back to the woods again, and got me back into hiking. And then I had Army buddies that had lost limbs during the war, and they couldn't get out. And so they asked if there was any way that I could share this with them. And I said, sure. I mean, let me try to figure it out. And that was YouTube. And that's when I started my channel. And the reason I started it was really to share with them. And then it's just fun. It's fun to edit. It's fun to get out and make videos and do those things.
Oh, it is. It is. It's, I mean, like, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be at it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. The way I was looking at it was, I started out on my step, and most of my stuff is on my step, hence the name My Back Step.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where, even if I wasn't videotaping, I'd still be out there doing this stuff on my step. I'd still be going into the woods and doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Being able to take a camera, which is nothing, and set it up and videotape.
Yeah.
And then being able to share the experience makes it even more worthwhile to do.
It does. It does. And sort of, again, it's mine. Then I wanted to leave a legacy for my grandkids so that they could look back and see, what would this crazy guy do, and they can sort of watch my habits, and so that's really the advantage of all this. And then you get to the another advantage is meeting people that you had never met before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I've met people from all over the world.
Yeah,
All over the world.
it's great.
Right? And I mean, like, when was I ever going to have the opportunity to meet someone in Australia or anywhere for that matter? New York, Alabama, Texas, wherever you might be.
Yeah. Same. I just my experience with Newfoundland was reading the book that came out after 9/11 when the planes landed there.
Yeah.
And you guys took them all in, and that was just amazing.
I was actually working in a clothing store when that happened, in an athletic store. So whenever anyone came in, they had States ID. We give them like 50% off everything that they bought because,
Yeah.
we couldn't give it away, but we could certainly do our staff discounts on stuff for people so that it made it a bit easier on them when they got here, because they had nothing. They weren't allowed to take anything off the planes. They didn't have homes to go to. They didn't have anything when they showed up here. And Gander Airport took in a lot of people out in Gander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing, Doris? She's kicking herself in the head and everything. Being a silly cat.
Well, now it's about that time to land the plane. But yeah, that gave me. I mean, I was of course in the Pentagon 9/11, so that to see what you guys did for these people that really had nothing, no place to go, and was really. I greatly admired that, and still do. And it's sort of like Aegis Adventures. I sent him a flag. He wanted, I don't know if I told you about this or not. He always had a Canadian flag in his backdrop, and he wanted an American flag. He wanted a United States flag. And so he made a comment on one of my videos and asked if I knew how you could get one. And I said, well, I'll send you one, but you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
And so I had a flag. I folded it up, the way we fold it in that triangle, and I sent it to him with the certificate on it, because this was a flag that had flown over the Capitol and the White House and the Pentagon and my last command, my Army installation. This flag had followed me through all those things, and so I sent that to him so that he had a United States flag.
Nice.
And then and he said, I'm not going to unfold it. I said, you can unfold it. I folded it. It's not a big deal. No, I'm not going to unfold it. And he did a video on the display that he's making for this thing.
Nice.
And great guy. And so
I got a flag. Eddie sent it to me, Devil Dog.
Yeah.
But it's just one of the poly flags.
Okay.
But I got that up over behind here because it's not fully stretched out the way I want it to be, because I just put it up because I wanted it to be up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know where there's one American that lives here, and no matter what, the flag is there in the front of their house.
Yeah.
Hanging on the flagpole. And I mean, like, I could see, especially with what you sent with the certificate and everything like that, I probably wouldn't unfold that either. Even though I know how to fold them. I know how to fold them and tuck it so it stays all in the triangle.
Yep.
But I still probably wouldn't unfold that just because of what it is and where it came from.
Yeah.
Well,
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys a bunch, and it's just fun to have friends and that we can share with. All right. Well, brother, I think I'm going to have to go because it's dinner time here. Have you eaten yet?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's 8:30 in the night here now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, you take care of yourself, Al, and
You too.
I'll be gone the next 2 weeks. But then when I get back, I'll make sure that I've got the emails so that everybody's on it. We can maybe hang out a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out for you when he gets back because I want to hear all about your trip.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's gonna be
Your
fun.
adventure. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It
All right.
will.
Well, take care. Stay
You too.
safe. Stay healthy. Stay on the path. And God bless you. Take care, Al. Bye-bye.